everybody, hope you're all well. It's been a little while since I've done one of these kinds of videos, so I thought it'd be nice if I just kind of sat down and updated you all on where we are, as it's been a little while since I've done a video on this channel. I started off doing Instagram as a way of documenting our journey on our path with autism, and I kind of wanted to do the same with this YouTube channel, but I haven't really been very proactive with it, and I really want to kind of start making a few more regular videos really for myself, so that I can look at the progress that we've made, the changes that Theo has made, and where we're at just in terms of life in general. So I kind of want to try and make this a bit more of a regular thing. As I said, more for myself, but it's also nice to kind of share, to get that acceptance and awareness out there a little bit more. So today I was just really going to kind of chat about where we are at. So a few things have changed. We have now finally got Theo's EHCP in place, which is amazing, after having been told that we wouldn't be successful in getting the EHCP for Theo. Sorry, he's just here watching his iPad, I should say Kindle Fire. He likes to have it on full volume, so I'm trying to battle with him to keep the volume down a little bit. Yeah, so we now have the EHCP, which is amazing, because I was initially told that that was just not going to be possible because we didn't have any evidence from a nursery or preschool setting, that we would more than likely be declined the request, and that they didn't think that we would actually make it any further than that. So when the request was accepted, I was over the moon. I wasn't going to hold out too much hope that we would get as far as getting an EHCP, but the more we went along the path and the journey, the more apparent it became that actually Theo was going to be awarded an EHCP. For those who don't know, an EHCP is an education healthcare plan. Here in the UK, it used to be referred to as a statement of educational needs. Basically, it's a big old report that documents everything that your child needs to support them through education, and basically outlines their health and their care needs as well. So it's a great big old document that basically should include everything that your child needs on a day-to-day basis. So I'm really pleased that we were able to get that. Our next kind of fight, as it were, was to try and get Theo a space in a specialist school. We had gone to have a look around one last December, which we fell in love with. It starts from the age of 2 all the way up until the age of 19, I believe it is. And it was a perfect setting. We felt that Theo would really settle in there and thrive. We know a few other children that are there and are doing very, very well. So we really had our hearts set on that school. Initially, we were told that it was full and there were no spaces. The likelihood that Theo would get a space again, we were told that was pretty unlikely that he would get a space, and that we should continue looking at mainstream settings. I was adamant that he wasn't going to go to a mainstream setting. It clearly detailed that in his EHCP, that the level of support he would need would not be met in a mainstream setting. So I kind of just kept at it and at it and at it. I kept declining offers to go and have a look around mainstream settings. I kind of just stuck to my guns basically and followed my gut instinct, because from the start I always knew that Theo would be better placed in a specialist setting. And about 4 weeks ago we got a phone call to say that actually a space had become available, and that space was Theo's. Would you believe? So he was then offered a place. He still isn't at school, because then what happens is the school have to put together a report and send it to the local authority, outlining the funding that they would need to be able to support Theo at school. The local authority then need to agree that funding. Once that's agreed, we then go in for a meeting with the school, and they then ask us more information and more questions about Theo and his needs. But essentially, we are hoping that Theo will start school this coming January, a fresh term. The terms start September through to December, January through to April, and then at the end of April through to July. That's how it works here in the UK. So they kind of wanted to start him afresh with a fresh term from January. They've said that he can go in for a couple of taster sessions once the funding has all been agreed. So we're really excited about that. So that's fantastic. We're so excited. Just a few other, I guess, updates. There's not really been any change with Theo. Things are much the same, really. He's still not really sleeping. He hasn't napped during the day for quite a long time now. So he's surviving on very limited sleep of an evening, which I have kind of gotten used to now, I think. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to get more sleep. But it's been so long since I remember him sleeping regularly for a decent amount of time. Theo does have medication, melatonin, each evening to try and help him sleep, which is fantastic at helping him go off to sleep. It just doesn't keep him asleep for very long, or long stretches, I should say. But as you can see, Theo doesn't seem to be deterred by a lack of sleep. He is very happy in himself generally if he's doing what he likes to do, which is mainly stimming, running around, playing on the iPad, being outside in all weathers. Yeah, so in general he's quite happy. We have a new addition to the family. We have a little dog. Nala! Nala! There she is, isn't she beautiful? Little French bulldog. She's amazing, and she's been great with Theo, understanding his needs. Oh, that sun is very bright, isn't it? Understanding his needs a little bit, being very aware that he needs a bit more space, and she's not very jumpy with him like she is with our daughter, so it's great that she's able to sense the difference between the two children, which is fantastic. Our daughter Talia, she's doing great. She's getting on really well at school. Yeah, just having a great time, learning lots of new things, being very social as she is. And yeah, we're just really excited to start this new journey, this new season for Theo, which will be getting him into school, starting school in January. I have this book sat on my lap here, just as a bit of an example of the level of need that Theo has. People might think it's funny, but in all reality it isn't. So this is a book that was on our bookshelf. I nipped to the loo, literally. Oh gosh, that sun is so bright. I nipped to the toilet, literally. I was minutes. I'm not sure why that's being so bright. There we go, that's a bit better. Yeah, literally nipped to the toilet for, minutes, and I come back to find Theo eating this book. Now, Theo has something called pica, where he eats inedible objects, books being one, but he also chews and eats plastic and wood. So one of our arguments for him not attending a mainstream setting is the fact that there would be lots of items lying around that Theo would potentially put in his mouth, and that would cause a choking hazard to him and a major risk factor, despite them suggesting that he would have support, one-to-one support. Often in a mainstream setting, that one-to-one support isn't necessarily just there for Theo. So we felt that having so many children in a mainstream setting, there's up to 30 children in a setting, Theo would just get lost, and potentially the level of danger there would be huge, and I just wasn't comfortable in letting that happen. It's also very, very difficult here at home to kind of get anything done, housework, anything like that, because I cannot leave Theo unattended. Really, like I said, I just literally nipped to the toilet then, and I come back to finding him eating that book. It could have been something else. In our living room, we don't have things lying around everything is up out of reach. There's literally nothing available for Theo to be putting in his mouth. Everything is safe. However, you know, there are always potential risks that may be overlooked, so it makes things very, very difficult to kind of get anything done on a day-to-day basis around the house. So I have to kind of wait for my husband to get home from work to be able to do cleaning or washing or anything like that. And also it's very, very difficult to go out of the house as well, because, you know, Theo has no understanding of danger, no awareness at all. So it is very difficult. I constantly have to keep eyes on him. You know, going to something as simple as a soft play area isn't very simple for us. It's not that straightforward to be able to kind of just go along and rock up and let him go in and play. He constantly has to be monitored. I have to risk assess everything, constantly risk assess everything. And I think these are the things that people don't realise, you know, that I'm having to do on a daily basis. You know, minute by minute, hour by hour, things are constantly changing, and I'm constantly having to reassess the situation to make sure that Theo is safe, basically. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting to constantly have to keep doing those things. But obviously, you know, I'm not complaining, because, you know, his safety is paramount, and it is utmost importance to us to make sure that he is safe. But I think people just don't realise the level and the extent of, you know, what it is needed to take care of a child with the level of need that Theo has. So yeah, I'll stop ranting. Not ranting, I'll stop waffling on about that now. But I thought it was kind of important to share that, because I don't know whether many people kind of realise the level of need that some children on the spectrum have. So yeah, anyway, that's a little bit of an update from me today. So yeah, as I said, I kind of just want to kind of keep up with these videos a little bit more often, just really for an update for myself, to be able to look back on these things and kind of see where we've come and how far we've got, and our progress in each season and each journey. So yeah, I'm gonna cut off today and try and get a few things done with Theo. We're going to do some games in a minute to try and help him focus, and then we will be going to get his big sister from school. So I hope you have a good day, and we shall see you soon. Thanks guys, bye.